been a year. Let's talk about it. This is so like me to like be consistent with posting for like 6 months and then disappear for a year. But so much has happened, and this video is split up into 2 parts of work and life and the balance. So let's just hop right in. If my memory serves me correct, the last time I made a video was around the time I took candidacy. And usually you take candidacy going into your 3rd year. I am now in the 2nd semester of my 4th year. So clearly so much has changed, so much has happened. I have passed candidacy, I'm in the thick of my program, and I am also getting ready to enter 5th year, and that means starting to look for jobs, get ready to graduate, things of that nature. So this video is going to talk about the lessons I have learned now as a 4th year PhD student. When it comes to grad school, period, it doesn't matter if it's a PhD program, master's, JD, MD, it doesn't matter. Grad school is going to grow and stretch you in a way that you cannot imagine. And so to make sure that I stay on track, I made notes and we have a few things to discuss. So a quick rundown of the things that have been going on in my life. I went to Italy for my birthday, and at the time of my life, that was for my 25th birthday. I also got super involved in my ministry. I know I've talked about Urban Hymnal before, and now I'm even more involved. We've expanded. We're at Post. I think the last time I talked about Urban, we were at Eden, and then we went to Casa, and then we went to Post, and we're still at Post. So that's been a lot of fun. Other things that have happened in life, a lot of travel, honestly, all around. I've done fellowships. I have applied for an F-31, and I still have no money. We'll have a discussion about rejection. That's coming, that's coming. But so much has happened in life stuff that when it comes to school, the biggest thing that's been difficult is balancing having fun and being 20 in my 20s and then having to lock in for this grad program. With that, I want to first stress the importance of picking the right lab. So for context, if you are watching this, I'm going to be giving specific examples about my experience as a PhD student studying biomedical science. I'm getting my PhD in genetics, and I will be posting a video about how I came to the conclusion I wanted to get my PhD in genetics. But before that, picking the right advisor lab, if you are in a program where that's something that you have the opportunity to do and pick for yourself, that will make or break your time in grad school. And that's something people emphasize a lot. I did not know what that meant until I am 4 years in and realizing, wow, here are ways that my advisor has advocated for me. Here are things where I thought I'd be able to do that I can't because he may not have the expertise in. Having the right advisor is something that you really need to take your time doing. And in addition to having the right advisor, you also need to have the right advisory committee. In my program, there are 2 types of people who follow you throughout your timeline. You have your primary advisor, whose lab that you're most likely working in and doing all your research in for your dissertation. And then there are a group of people, usually consisting of like 4 to 5 additional people within your department or within your program that sit on a committee, and every 6 months you're going to meet with them as a group with your primary advisor to talk about what you've been doing, what progress you've made, and what you plan to do in order to fulfill your requirements to graduate. With that, not just having a good advisor, but having an advisory committee that can make up for the areas that your advisor may not be able to help you in is super important. I recently had a meeting with my advisory committee where I expressed, hey, here are some things that I'm interested in, and I just don't have the resources in my lab to do these things. They were quickly able to rally together and say, okay, you can do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. That is the beauty of having a solid and diverse advisory committee. Diverse in the sense of their expertise, where they are in their tenure. So I have some more senior faculty members, some more junior faculty members, there's a variety of ideas, experiments, and conversation that we're able to have because I took my time to research and find a good advising team. I told y'all, we were not, the chit chat, we did that already. We gotta jump into this. We gotta get serious. Something else that is super duper 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 important. I'm telling you guys this because like, I think your 4th year is when you really crash out, and this is where we are. It is so important that you recognize the resources that are available to you. So this is what I did. When I first joined my lab, I front loaded learning everything. And I'm so grateful I did that. I figured out, okay, what types of experiments can I do in my lab? If we can't do certain things in this lab, what neighboring labs can provide these same resources? That is so important because the further along you get in your PhD program, the greater the expectation is for you to know how to figure things out. You don't have to know everything, but I don't know will only take you so far. And the further you are in your program, the less faculty want to hear, I don't know. You have to figure it out. And that's the hard truth. I'm telling you, the hard truth. It's super important that when you're joining a lab, you recognize what their strong suits are and what their expertise is in, okay? So for example, I know during my application cycle, I had said on my personal statement, I'm interested in cancer research and I really want to do a lot of health disparity work. The lab that I'm in now does neither, and that's not a problem. However, let's say I still wanted to do those things and I tried to force those things into the lab and into aspects of my project, I would be struggling and I would not be graduating anytime soon because that is not what my lab focuses on. I should have joined a lab that focuses on cancer and health disparities, but I didn't. I joined my lab for other reasons. Again, I'll talk about that in a different video. But in general, it is super important that you know what your lab does. Okay, so at this point, you have joined your lab, you have a committee, you have your advisor, then comes like doing the work, okay? Having a routine is essential to surviving grad school. I'm telling you, having either a planner or you have like a digital calendar, you need to have some type of way to create your own structure. I think the most difficult thing about going into a PhD program and even a master's program is that when you have to create the project, that means you're creating your own syllabus. And in traditional school, we are given a curriculum and we are given a syllabus and we just follow it. That is not how these programs work. You're responsible for scheduling out when and how you'll do experiments. If things don't work out, if you're having to take care of animals, you have to coordinate with other people in animal facilities to breed whatever animals you have or to give them whatever type of drug you need or do whatever type of like research. It doesn't matter. You have to coordinate with other people. You need to have a set schedule. You also have to recognize just because you're a student doesn't mean everyone else is. Everybody else is on a salary, okay? They come, they work from 9 to 5 and they do what they're supposed to do because this is their job. This is not school for them. This is the real deal. So they do not have the time to play with you and lollygag and do all the extra this and that, okay? So you have to be extremely considerate of other people's time, and having a schedule will help with that. Phew! Listen, I was trying to just give y'all everything I could because I just came back. I gotta get back in the swing of this. But the last thing I would say when it comes to lessons I've learned in grad school, it is never too early for career preparation. I don't care what anybody says. I don't want to hear it. 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 You can always start planning ahead for your career. Always. If you already know what you want to do, then plan accordingly. Join a lab that's going to help you reach those goals. If you thought you know what you want to do, but then you changed your mind, that's fine, because that was me. I came in thinking one thing, I've changed my mind about what I wanted to do, and I quickly had to pivot how I was going to use the rest of my time in grad school to help me gain the experience I need for life after grad school. And that's something that is not talked about enough. You're going to graduate, okay? You will not be a student in the lab for the rest of your life. You have to graduate. That's the whole point of you going there, okay? So knowing that you have to leave at some point, you need to be thinking about, what do I want to do? What type of experience do I need? You don't have to get an internship to get experience. That's something else that I've learned. I know for me, I came in wanting to do one thing. I changed my mind last year, during that year I was going from doing this. And now I have created a new plan to use the rest of my time in grad school to prepare for my next steps. What's important is recognizing you have all these resources available to you, and some things don't require you to get a summer internship to learn. For instance, your soft skills, learning to meet deadlines, being organized, collaboration, communication, project design, project management. These are soft skills that don't require you to get an internship. You naturally have to be able to do these things in your graduate program. Areas where you may need an internship may include having real world experience or getting some sort of exposure to a certain type of technology or skill set that your school may not provide. That could be useful. If you just want more general experience of what it's like to be in a specific role, you can do an internship for that reason. I'm currently in the process of applying for internships. That is definitely something, again, it's so much that's happened in the past year that has led me to reactivate this account so that way I can share all the things I've learned. Grad school is not easy. Like I said, the fourth year is the crash out year for all PhD students, okay? If you're a fourth year, you know. Like, if you know, you know. You're in the midst of your crash out. And I think it's so important that when you go through something, you share what you've learned with other people so that way they don't have to struggle. Like, there's no need for us to be struggling in grad school. We have so many resources, so many free resources, and I really hope that my page can be one. With that, stay tuned because you will be getting weekly content about how I balance my life as a PhD student, trying to live her best 20 life, and then also trying to get up out of grad school. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the things, and I will see you next week.